everyone, welcome to another round of Chitter Chatter. Today we are going to have a chit chat with author GAUTAAM BORAH on his current book NALANDA, Until We Meet Again. Well, what do I tell you about this book? It's a very different love story, a very unique love story, and there's so much I want to chat with him. It's a very gripping story. Trust me, I started reading this book last night and I was at it till today, Chitter Chatter, and I'm all excited to chat with him and to know what went in his head. How did he craft this story? Because every particular chapter literally leaves you on a cliffhanger. And before I invite him, I have to tell you there's so much about him that you would want to know and chat about. So let's send him a request and get started with this Chitter Chatter. Also, before sending my request, I would like to tell all of you all thank you for joining me live always and encouraging these chitter chatters. I know I've been off a little chitter chatter for a little while, but I'm back here with a lot more authors coming in and a lot of chit chat happening. Also, let me tell you, if you love love stories, you love unique love stories, then this is it. It is about 3 people. At least according to me, it's about 3 people, but mainly it is about Aanchal and the main protagonist, Neil. Neil and Aanchal's love story and how much more with all the characters that go on. You know what? Actually, I want to tell you a lot more, but I might just land up giving spoilers, which I don't want to because I want you to enjoy the book as much as I have enjoyed. So I'm just going to invite GAUTAAM and get started with this chitter chatter. And know from him all about the story because he knows exactly where to leave you on a cliffhanger so that you buy the copies. And here we invite GAUTAAM on this Chitter Chatter and all the questions that you want to ask him, the ones that you DM. Hi GAUTAAM, welcome on Chitter Chatter.
Oh, nice to meet you.
So I have to tell you first, I really want to tell the viewers here what is Nalanda Until We Meet Again all about, but I'm literally refraining because I might just land up giving the spoilers. I have been reading it from last night continuously, like literally I had a sleepless night because I was reading Neil and Aanchal's story. I woke up in the morning with a cup of coffee. I was again reading the story and here I am. So I don't want to give them any spoilers. If you could tell our viewers a little about the book.
Sure. In fact, okay, I'll pick up certain things from what I have been. I've been talking about a few lines about the book at the same time. I'll pick up 2 lines which was spoken by Ruskin Bond when he launched the book. First thing that he spoke about was that it's like a movie. So it has everything that one can encounter in life. You have got action, you have got love, you have got romance, you have got corporate politics and anything that you can think of. So a person, when he starts his journey from, say, while he's a student till the time he works, falls in love. So you get the whole cycle of life in that. That's one thing he mentioned about that. And another thing he said, he talked about 3 things actually. So it's love and 3 things he talked about. He said, and if you combine these 3 things, it becomes a love story. And if I talk about that, I say it keeps, in fact, Nalanda, I can promise you, I can commit to you that it's going to give you much more. Like it will talk about you can travel with Neil and Aanchal, and you can be a student. You can be a working guy, or a girl working in a corporate. You can encounter everything that one encounters in life. And at the same time, the best part, again, I don't want to give give a spoiler, the mystical part. And that's where it comes towards probably after 40-50% or maybe a little before that. So that's I would say, there's the beautiful part of the book. I can assure you that you are going to enjoy that.
And I can assure you because I have been at it. I have read every word about it. And in spite of reading so many books and so many love stories, there was still so much new things that you offered as a writer, which was the surprising part. Because you know what happens is when you know it's a love story, and when you read a blurb, you know कि ठीक है, love story hai, ho jayega, this, that. But you've left a lot of cliffhangers. There are a lot of characters that come in. And also surprising part about the book is that those characters don't need much character building. You've built it along the line. So it's not like, okay, suddenly a new characters come. And now you're going to spend a few next pages, which I can skim through with the idea. They're already woven very well with the story while going ahead with the story. So tell me one thing, your earlier book was totally more like a self-help and, like monetizing innovation. And this
Yeah,
is a fictional. So
yeah.
the cheat as a writer, how difficult or easy was it for you to write Nalanda Until We Meet Again?
Okay, I would say, yeah, this is one question I'm asked very often, actually. This is not the first time that I'm being asked. And I in fact, thought over because Nalanda just happened because you are also from entertainment industry. You would understand that the things do not, you don't plan everything. The thing happens. So Nalanda happened, in fact. So when it happened, and when I started encountering this question, when people started asking that question, just to tell the viewers, the first book was it was a management book, and it was for basically for the organizations who want to drive innovation, and so it was published by Bloomsbury. And this book is a purely fiction. I guess coming back to the question, I guess if you look at, I was thinking about that. Now, if I take the example from say entertainment industry, you'll find that many people like they start as an actor, they then become director, they become producer, because if you see many times you feel that you might be a good actor, but is it true that you can become a good actor, a good director or a producer? But I guess if you talk about any creative process, the basic remains the same. It's all about a writer going into the real life, finding out the you need an eye, which you need a person, or you need an observant eye, in fact, where you can look at the things that what's happening in your life, put it back, put your imagination into that. So that's how you create the whole thing. It doesn't matter whether you are a director, actor, or a producer. Same thing if I translate or if I impose this template into writing a book. It's very similar, in fact. So like if I talk about, let's take the example of say Harry Potter. Now Harry Potter, if I talk about say, it's like, if you see the core of the book, Harry Potter, it's like there is evil being defeated by someone good. That's what the whole fight is all about. Then the writer and the author, he or she puts the things around that, make sure that it becomes something that people love reading. Same thing even for Nalanda, I would say the creative process is same. So I guess it was not, it happened without plan. And since the basic remains the same, okay, maybe another example I would put is like the pizzas, the base is same. You just create the toppings, you get a margarita or something like that. So I guess in short, the creative process remains the same. Once you have a creative mind, I guess it's not too difficult.
So book underscore mermaid wants to know, uh, she felt like it's a true story, is it?
Okay, now I would say, look, again, that's here. I have another standard example. Like if you look at Jeffrey Archer's book, any of the books, he's one of my most favorite author. And there are elements which are always very common. Like he'll talk about a dockyard because he was grown up in a dockyard. And he would always talk about, say, House of Lords because he was a member there. He will talk about the court dramas because I guess he was a lawyer or something, or he had experience of that. So like when a writer writes something, he picks up the thing that he sees across. He does not pick up the thing. It's not a copy, but you pick up the core. Like if I talk about corporate politics, so you don't pick up the corporate politics that you had gone into, or like you had to suffer, or you had seen. You don't pick up that, but you have seen the core of that. What happens in a corporate politics? So I say it's fictional, and in fact, that's the disclaimer at the start of the book. But as a writer, you pick up many things that you see all across. Not a copy paste. You pick up the core.
So, like you said, you pick up a lot of things from your daily life, from a lot of experiences maybe that you've experienced or you've observed around you. So, a lot of things are picked up around the line, and that's why you're more attached to it. When it came to the editing part of the book, was it difficult to edit some of the attachments?
Yes, that's an excellent question. In fact, I would say when I started off first, because this is while I had been writing on a management topics, my book was on management. I keep on writing, still I keep on writing a lot of management topics in different magazines and journals. As a fiction, I had written short stories, but never written a fictions. So when I started off, I first thought that shall I be able to complete even 100 pages? But when I started off, the book became, I guess, almost 400 415 or 450 pages, almost 125 words. And when I started reading myself, I found it many times it was disconnected, because you write your emotions. When you write a fiction or a short story, you try to you try to touch the five senses of the people or the five senses of the readers. That's what, while trying doing that, you don't know in fact that how much you have written. So yes, it is. Then once it happens, it is like again, I am quite into fitness, so I'll give the example of fitness. So it's like once you go to the gym, it's very difficult, because you need to cut down on your diet, you need to be very regular, discipline, dedication, sacrifice. So all things goes into that. Sacrifice in terms of the things which you love, the things to be there in the book, but the story does not demand that. So you need to cut it off. Discipline, because then you need to be again, you need to understand that probably the this part needs you want the part to come in a particular way which you have retained, but that may not again go go with the story. So then again you have to cut it. Yes, so it's difficult, but then it becomes in fact, I would say at that point, when you first write a book and when you start editing, there's a shift from your emotional mode to a more, I would say, more structural mode or structure mode, whatever you want to say. It's like you create the movie, do the editing so that you need the right story to get reflected.
You know, Nalanda, the way you've written, it's literally like movie in pages, because it's very descriptive, very visualistic. And every character also, you've not really given much scope for us where we have to really leave it to our imagination. It somewhere just, automatically comes right in front of you. And that's why the story becomes more interesting. So, who was in your mind? If I had to say this book is getting adapted, who would Neil be? Who would Anchal be?
Oh, I would say first, since I'm doing this live with you, I think my first choice should be you. And honestly, in fact, I was just thinking, yes, seriously, why not? In fact, I was thinking probably Kirti and Vani Kapoor, and obviously you are in the top of the list now. And next, I was thinking for a male lead, probably Ayushmann Khurrana. And if I talk about outside India, if I talk about, I watch quite a lot of K-dramas. So I like, I don't know if you are aware of, there's an actor called Hyun Bin. So he was, the Crash Landing on You. Probably I was thinking he is a right fit if I have to cast someone from the outside.
Agree with you, because be it Crash Landing, be it so many other of his series, he is just the kind of guy Neil is. The way he is like the math wizard, and the way his character is. Yes, in K-drama, he is just apt. Like nobody like him who would fit in this thing perfectly.
That's true.
I had him in mind literally when I was reading the book. Like when I asked you for the adaptation, obviously I didn't ask from K-drama because not everybody watches K-drama. I myself started watching during COVID, and I became a huge fan of him, like a lot more people out there, because he has simplicity, the novelty, and also when it comes to fighting it out, he's just there. So yeah, I had him in mind.
Yeah.
Also, we have Lovepreet Singh 8364. She wants you to take the titles of both the books, announce it to her and other viewers, and also where can they buy it?
Okay. My first, you were talking about my first book and the current book. That's what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. The first book was quite. I say that was almost 5 years before. So I'll take that name a little later, because at this moment we are talking about Nalanda. So Nalanda you can buy in Amazon. It's available in, I guess, it's available in selected bookstores, not in all the bookstores. Some selected bookstores across India, and Amazon. That's where it is mostly focused. And Goodread, obviously, it's there. And if I talk about the other book, it's available in the name of the book is Monetizing Innovation. So it's available all across. In fact, that was taught in few business schools as well. But today I don't want to speak much on that. So I'll stop at telling the name, which is Monetizing Innovation. It was published by Bloomsbury.
So all viewers here, like he said, this is available. Do buy your copies. Do DM him. Tell us what you loved. Who was your favorite character? And if you think you could visualize anybody else in those characters, do let us know. Also tell us what you loved the most. Which scene was your favorite? You can tell us a lot. So do read. You're going to really enjoy this love story. And coming week, what are you doing? What better than a love story which is unique and different in spite of reading a lot of love stories? You're going to have a lot more things that this book is going to offer. Trust me on that. And if it doesn't offer you, you can DM me too. Okay, so back Gautam on the book. Like I said, I was at it and there were a lot of things that actually gave me goosebumps. And, like, especially that part that comes a little later. So to be precise, I'll say 30%. And you know exactly what I'm saying when I'm saying goosebumps because you've written it. I wouldn't want to elaborate more on it. And I hope the viewers too get goosebumps when they're reading. So when you were writing that part, especially of Neil, were you getting goosebumps too? Because, as a writer, you give your heart and soul when you're writing something like this,
Yes,
especially, and
absolutely.
repeated. So were you having the same kind of emotions going on at that point?
Absolutely. In fact, Shweta, I'll tell you, this again, you'll understand, and the people who are associated with the entertainment or the creative process, they would understand. I remember one story, one of the Kapil Sharma show, he called, I guess it was Shahid Kapoor. So he was asking that while he was doing Kabir Singh, so Shahid Kapoor, he used to go back home. He used to take bath many times. So he was asking why did you do that? He said because the reason I just wanted to come out of the character. So that shift in your mind, like if I talk about, because I have spent time on writing and management book. At the same time, I have spent time writing here. Writing a fiction is very different. You need to be. I always say that you need to be in a zone. Unless if you're writing a love story, right dose of dopamine. If the dopamine, it is required. Otherwise, you can't write that. So many times, in fact, I would say it took me about 4 years because I was coming out of the zone. I was not able to get inside. So it took me some kind of. There are different ways that I had to get into the zone to that write that part. Basically, to come out of this zone, get into the right zone, and start continue writing. So I say it is like an actor is very important, not important actually. Without the writer getting into the zone, you can't write a fiction. Very important.
Also that it took you good 4 years to write because you had to get into the zone, you had to get out of the zone. And a lot of
Right.
people many times land up not finishing a story because, when they get, it's a writer's block or it is
Absolutely.
the break connect that happens that you cannot get back to a particular story. Whereas as a viewer or as a reader, I did not feel that disconnection at any point while I was reading the entire story. So did you face those kind of days when it was difficult for you to get back? Because I'm sure once you were in it, you were in the flow. How did you have that disconnection and how did you get back? What was the process like?
Yeah, okay. If I talk about the process, I would say, look, I always feel even one is about writing a book, or even if you talk about doing anything in your life, I always feel there are three things that one needs to look at. Without that, you can't be successful. If you talk about a book, or it's definitely equally applicable to writing the book as well, which is your discipline, dedication, and sacrifice, and which I had mentioned sometimes back as well. And talking about, so while these things are required, like this discipline is making sure that if you're writing a book, you write every day. It's very important. Like if you're a player, you practice every day. You are a musician, you practice every day. So if you're a writer, if you want to write something, write every day. Dedication is you need to leave many things. Say I am an very quite early. I'm a person. I go to bed early, get up early. So that sacrifice, not watching the TV series or going into a party, coming back late. So that's your sacrifice. And dedication is obviously putting the required amount of time on the thing that you want to achieve every day. But still, you may not be getting into the zone. If I talk about the way I could get into the zone, I say it is meditation. That's what actually helped me. So many times when your mind, you realize like a whole day you'll be busy in doing many things, and by the time you are out, you try to go to your bed when you want to sleep, your mind is in a mess. In fact, you are in different zones. You talk about, I have a full-time day job, so obviously that stress, tension from that job, something in the family, this, that, there might be anything. So only thing that which requires it is entangled like this. So if you want to remove that, want to make it streamline, something like this, only way is the meditation. I would say meditation helped me quite a lot. That's the way I would say. While even I was just coming out of the zone, I could enter. I don't want to say effortlessly, but it was easier.
So, a viewer here has very highlighted exactly what you've said. Nijaran Nath 004, discipline, dedication, sacrifice are good words, and they're very difficult to follow because you
Very.
need to have consistency with, following all these qualities. And you were also shifting from your full-time job to this passion of yours. Also, you know what? Many a times when you are following your passion, there is a time when you feel that, you actually cannot have full justice to it, because sometimes even an extreme bit happens with your passion too, because this is something you're doing out of love and out of affection, so there are no deadlines to match. There are, like your corporate job, you don't have targets to meet. But had you set a particular target for Nalanda until we meet again?
Yes, I set a target and I failed. That's where I set a target. In fact, I was supposed to, the book was in fact supposed to be taken by another publisher, one of the top publisher. And I was supposed to give the book before, in fact, COVID. But COVID happened in between. And you know what happened after that. Even the publishing industry has gone to a turmoil. So many things have happened around that time. So obviously, yes, answer is yes.
What is that characters which are similar between Neil and you?
I say Neil is committed, so I'm also committed. Neil is disciplined. I say that I'm disciplined. And another thing is that he's a fitness freak. So I was talking about like in the places when it was like minus few degrees in London, in Oxford, where he was still going to the gym. So like I never miss my workout routine, come what it is. So I guess these are few things it is similar.
If there had been another title, Nalanda until we meet again, what would it be?
I have not thought over. You have started reading. Do you have anything in mind?
I
I,
actually have anything in mind. Like, everything about the book, everything about the title was so apt. Like, everything in general, that I really have no suggestions, and you really didn't even give me a scope where I could move out, because you just crafted everything well, to an extent that you and I had the same adaptation character. Like, coincidentally, I've K dramas, and he is my
right.
favorite. So I had no scope left for that. But guys, if you have read Nanda until we meet again, or you're going to read, if you have a suggestive title, you can always
Yes.
throw in the ideas, because you never know, author might use it for his next book, because this is
Absolutely.
just fun. There's
Absolutely.
way more to come. So, Gautam, thank you once again for your time for Chitter Chatter, and thank you for giving out such a beautiful story, a story that I really enjoyed. And I'm sure even if people are going through their reading slump, this is something that might just get it out of there. So, thank you once again for your time, for this
Thank
lovely story, and wishing you lots of success with the book and with many more of your ventures that are going to come, many more books that are going to come.
Thanks for your
Also,
time. Yeah.
do you have a copy around so that we can take our live moment, a photo moment with the book? Do you have it?
You're asking, do I have the book? Yes, I have. Give me a second. I'll just picking it. Give me a second.
Have copies? Do get your copies. Do spread the word. Do the reviews on Goodreads, Amazon, wherever, and do spread the story. So ready?
Yes.
Okay, we've had a selfie moment. Thank you once again, Gautam, for your time, for the Chitter, and wishing you loads of success, and hopefully we shall see this book adapted where we can see Neil and Anchal on the big screen.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time, and thanks to viewers. And in case you want to contact with me, I'm quite active in Instagram. That's where you can write to me. I'm getting a lot of message. I'm trying to reply as much as I can personally, and I'll keep on trying to do that till at least for till a time I can't manage. At this moment, it's still manageable, but keep writing.
Do keep writing him and do review the book too. And there are a lot of people like Shruti Barade, Krishna Mohan artist, and everyone wishing you congratulations. And I'm sure you'll be getting a lot of DMs because I'm sure we have a lot more questions for you. So wish you great success and a happy Sunday.
Thank you. Same to you. Thanks, Shweta. Thank you. Bye-bye.